So, do you have perfect aim in your favorite shooting game? No? Well, I didn't think so anyway. This is a constant problem no matter what platform you play on, who's playing on it, and what control scheme you're using. So, is there a way to solve this? Do the games need to be coded properly? Do we need better input methods? Or do we just need to keep practicing and get good? Well, the thing is, the shooting games we have today has been shaped by decades of innovations upon control methods, where some of them are now being actively used by millions of gamers. If you played a shooting game before, then chances are that you will be familiar with at least one of the three control schemes that I'll be covering today. So, we should at least start with what is the biggest contributor to the shooter genre, the mouse and keyboard. Now, the way that the mouse and keyboard control scheme is structured can be rooted back to how one game popularized it, ID Software's Quake, which featured full-range aiming. This would be how other FPS games on the PC would follow exclusively. Because, as you'll see with the other two contenders after this, using a mouse and keyboard on any other gaming platform is at the very least a taboo concept. When it comes to the general specs of a mouse and keyboard for gaming purposes, the mouse provides almost unprecedented accuracy. But actually, do you think this provides almost too much control? Because in order to refine and stabilize your mouse tracking on a technical level, you can adjust your aim sensitivity in the game's options, adjust your DPI settings in your mouse's companion software, if you have it, or you can just adjust the mouse cursor speed in your computer settings. I mean, does this actually improve your aiming methods? If I'm not playing like the pros by using my arm more instead of my wrist, then I might actually reduce the risk of developing carpal tunnel. Excellent. But still, this possibly makes the options to aim refinement pretty complex, if not confusing, which may be hard to achieve if you just want to have consistency. But, oh boy, the next contender that soon followed is the controller. I'm just as perplexed as some of you are as to how this became a popular input method, but it has reasons. Halo, among others, was one of a dozen other games that popularized the use of controllers in shooting games, primarily on home consoles like the Xbox and PlayStation family of systems. Understandably, the benefit of simplicity is on the controller's side, because all you need is a TV, the console, and a controller to play your game. There's absolutely no hassle with getting all the extra equipment that you'll need to play a shooter on your computer. But the controller comes at the cost of precision. Your aiming methods are reduced to nothing but a joystick. And, depending on which game you're playing, that can prove to be an aggravating experience, unless you're already used to playing this way, or the game comes with aim-assisting features and mechanics. But, there's at least one silver lining. You know something that a joystick is good at? Executing 360 degrees of direction, something that would greatly benefit a twin-stick shooter. If you're talking about using a controller on any other subgenre of shooters, forget it! You're going to be aiming on the screen like an Etch-a-Sketch for days. And that's mostly the inexperienced players that'll be doing that. Oh well. At least the controllers have trigger buttons now, just like an actual gun. But finally, we've come down to the challenger. The newest contender that may or may not revolutionize gaming for years to come. The one, and the only, gyro. Gyro aiming has become a grand revelation in how it approaches aiming, at least in terms of the games that use this on the Nintendo Switch. This is mainly thanks to some of the latest titles that were released on this console last year, with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Splatoon 2 being notable examples. Unlike the mouse and keyboard's overwhelming complexity and the controller's baffling aiming methods, the gyro on a controller seeks to unify the two. Now, Nintendo has experimented with gyro sensors before with the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS, but the Switch further refines, or at least repurposes the technology. On the Switch, while you can still aim with the joystick, you can finally refine your aim with the gyro sensors built into the Joy-Con. The biggest problem with the use of gyro sensors for the sake of aiming is that it's still a novel concept. There's no guarantees that you'll be able to get everybody on board with using gyro sensors to aim because maybe they're already used to how they've played shooters on a controller. But at the end of the day, what actually works when it comes to aiming? Can a singular combination of these factors make aiming fun? Do one of these control methods need to be eventually obsolesced in the future? I mean, I'd say that's possible, but not while you'll still have generations of PC Master Race supporters and controller freaks. At the very least, I like to remain hopeful about this pursuit to perfect accuracy. Maybe gyro sensors will be more commonly accepted, or not. Or VR games will perfect aiming methods to be as comprehensive as an arcade rail shooter. Maybe until a grand innovation, new or just improved, comes into the world as a widely used control method, we should just all get along with what we have now until that day comes.